I talked a little bit about this last week, but not so much on the process, right? So, what is a talisman, and generally speaking, how do you make one? So, there's different processes for making a talisman, and what a talisman is, it's an object that attracts things to you. So, that would be things like love or money or, you know, if you were in school and you wanted to be a better student and you want something that's going to help you to focus and concentrate and to learn. So these are things that would be a talisman, right? You could also make an amulet. An amulet is something that pushes things away from you. So it's generally for protective reasons or for banishing reasons, as opposed to a talisman. So let's say that I wanted to make an amulet for money, or I wanted to make an amulet for protection or a talisman for money. So let's say I took this necklace and I wanted to just imbue it with this energy. I could enchant this necklace and, put my intentions into it and then use that as a talisman. It doesn't even have to be something you wear, but sometimes it's nice to have something that you wear, because if you're trying to, let's say you want more confidence, then having a talisman that you wear or that you're always carrying with you might be more useful to you than something that sits at home, right? If you're out and about and you need your confidence when you're out and about, then you want something that you have on hand all the time. So I am making love talismans this week. So this is part of the process. So I have these different ingredients that are going to go into this. So I'm making this talisman from scratch, right? It's also borderline sachet because I'm using this little sachet where I will put, herbs and crystals and sigils and things into it. And I will anoint it with an oil. So this just happens to be a love drawing oil. Sometimes I make my own, sometimes I buy them. This one is one that I bought. So I also have sigils that this is a binding rune for love that will be put together with this particular talisman. So in order to activate this talisman, you need to do a ritual to charge it with energy. Oh, just a quick mention because I do have it up. So here's an example of some Norse binding runes, which are a type of sigil, but you can make your own sigils. We can discuss that in a different video, or you can probably find some other videos on YouTube about making sigils if you don't want to use something that's already existing. So if we want to charge this talisman, then we need to, cleanse the space, create either a working altar if you don't have a permanent one, or use your altar. For this, you would, if you're making it from scratch, you would consecrate your items. So you would bless the tools that you're going to use in order to create the talisman, right? And then for one that you already have, like let's say we were doing this necklace, then I might take some blessed water or blessed salt or something and then cleanse this or smoke cleanse it with incense. Then I would create a ritual to charge it with energy. Sometimes talismans are made to be dedicated to a particular deity. Other times they're, like I said, for, wealth or for love or for confidence. And if you do deity work, you can ask the appropriate deity to help you charge that talisman and bless it for a particular purpose. So like for this love talisman, I would call upon Aphrodite in order to bless this particular talisman because I already have a relationship with her. But, you might have a relationship with a different deity and you might call upon that deity to help you imbue that object with energy. So I light candles, so I will light those during the ritual process. Sometimes it's helpful to create a larger sigil, or to use like one of these seals of Solomon to put on the altar and then lay the objects on top of it to when you consecrate it. Or like, let's say you have on your altar a pentacle that's already consecrated, like a plate. You might put the object on your ritual plate or your crystal charging plate and do it that way. So you would bless it and consecrate it, and then you might put a little ritual oil onto it. Not heavy, obviously, you don't want to mess up whatever the object is, but just to infuse it with that energy. I might even bless the oil. If it's something I've made just for this particular talisman, then I might bless that oil in the process of consecrating the talisman. And then you would use it, but a talisman is kind of an ongoing working, right? So once in a while, it will need to be recharged. So you might, maybe once a month at the new moon or the full moon, you might charge it, or you might charge it every 3 months. But at some point, you need to kind of refresh that energy so that it can be working at the maximum potency. And this also just sort of builds your connection with this talisman as you use it, and you charge it over and over. You don't want to charge it every week. You need to trust that the magic is working and not like be obsessive about it. But it's just more like, okay, every couple of months, I want to just charge it just to make sure that it's fresh. So, part of the magic is doing the ritual and then letting go and allowing it to do its work, and to not like be thinking about it and obsessing about it. So I hope this is helpful. I'm also making talismans that I'll end up putting on my Etsy page if you're looking for a talisman. But this is just a basic overview of how you can make your own using something you already have, or if you are really crafty and you want to put something together, then this can help you do that. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like more tutorials, then please comment and give me a like. What kind of talismans would you like to make? Okay, we'll see if that worked without the microphone.